Hi there, this is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and I hope you're staying warm today. When I woke up this morning, it was 2 degrees, and it's been that way for about 3 days now, 4 days. Very, very cold. Haven't been out at all. Alrighty, we just finished a little bit of Christmas quilt. So what does that mean? We get to start a new one. The highlight of our day. And I'm not going to tell you what it is right off the bat. I want you to try to guess, or just make a stab at it, I guess, because you're not going to have any idea of what the pattern's going to be by looking at my colors. What's it going to be? That's the name of this video. What's it going to be? I'll put the camera down so you can see for sure. We will have 6-7 videos. My channel is for beginning quilters. So I walk you through step by step. And of course the first step is cutting. But really before that, the first step is pressing. And I need to press all of my fabrics before I think about cutting. So let's put down and we'll see what we've got here. You're gonna know right off the bat it's for a man, I think. So let's see what we have. Cover up my picture. Okay. All neutrals. All neutrals. Now the pattern that I'm going to show you is kind of in wild colors, but that is the fun of doing quilting, I think, is making it your own. Take a pattern, but make it your own. I don't think I have ever made, yes I did, I made the tumbler quilt using the fabrics they suggested, but that's the only one I have ever made. So these are 15 fat quarters. I was very fortunate enough to have got them at one of our quilt shops closed. Well, they sold out, and all of the ladies had accumulated, and they all got together and had a garage sale or estate sale or whatever you want to call it, a sale of all of their stuff that they had, and they wanted to get rid of it, so the prices were at least half. So I knew that I would be able to use all these somehow, some way. 15 of them. It's what the pattern calls for. I originally wanted to put a little bit of yellow in there, just a spot of yellow, but after studying, you need some solids, and I didn't want a solid yellow. I just wanted one of these to be yellow, but I couldn't really come up with a color combination. That yellow just threw me off. So this is what I came up with, and these are I'll give you the measurements of yardage in just a minute, but these are kind of an ombre. It's tone on tone. It's not just solid, but it'll work just fine. I liked it really better than using a solid. So I would consider that I really don't know the color you call that, but I liked it for a man. I love this color, and white and an off-white. And then this is for my binding. Now, does that look like a log cabin? Does it look like an Ohio star? Does it look like a Lucky Stars, a Texas star? What does that, all of that look like to you? And of course it has 4 yards of backing that I don't have yet. I'm going to try to see if I can find it in my stash. But that's, you know, I never go by fabric. But I already had these, so I splurged. And I bought this and this. So I'm going to try to come up with my own backing. But this is for a nephew that he used to live here in the same town. I live in Amarillo, Texas, and he used to live here. And one day he came over and I said, Justin, can you help me make a video? And he said, well, we'll try it. Let's go for it. And without any questions asked, he helped me to make my very first video for Nickel and Dime Decor. And he was such an encouragement to me and helped me for about a month. And then lo and behold, he moved to Austin, Texas. So I lost my director, we'll call him. But he got me, I guess, on the right path and good enough where I had to do it on my own, and there was no way out of it. So I'd already started it, so I had to do it. So I wanted to make him a quilt, and that's why I went and splurged, and I went and bought that, and of course your batting. I've got to the point, I had so much batting, but I got to the point where I've used it all. I'm going to have to buy batting too. Okay, well, the mystery is over, I guess. Now this is not, you know, when you quilt or make things for others, you need to not always make something that you love. Now, I know that sounds kind of awkward, but you're making it for them, not yourself. So this is something I would never make for myself, never in a million years. But for a young man in his 30s, I thought this was something he could be proud of to put on his couch or throw or wherever he wants to put it, and be proud of it when his friends come over. And he won't be ridiculed for having an old granny quilt there. And so sometimes we have to go beyond ourselves when we make for others. Now I'm not using, as you can see, any of these colors except the black and some of the grays. But I like my color choices better because I think it will be very subtle but be just quite a striking quilt. I can't wait to put it together. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the measurements. And this came out of the Quilting when they used to make it. It's not in publication anymore. I think it became Easy Quilts, I think. But anyway, this was the March, April of 2015. Just because it's 10 years old almost doesn't make it obsolete, doesn't make it not where it's not worth trying, because I think it's going to be a gorgeous quilt. But that's the knack you want to have, is to visualize what it will look like in these colors. And that stumps a lot of people. They can't do that. So if you're one of those, get some help when you're putting it together and ask for their honest opinion, and they'll help you. All right, with our solids, we'll call them, it calls for 7/8 yard of each one. And I bet you anything we have tons left over, but that's what the pattern calls for. This is my binding. That's what this is for. And then all these 15 assorteds They're all different and all different shades of grays, and I kind of call that a taupe. I don't know. It's kind of close, but I thought it looked real good with this, is why I got that off white. So that there's, and then the rest, the white will pull. So when I'm making my blocks, I'll be sure and put these together. And I'll be sure and put this with the white. And then it's 4 yards of backing. So 15 fat quarters, 4 solids, 7/8 yard each. And, see, I didn't tell you, 5/8 yard for the binding. That seems like an awful lot too, but that's what it calls for. And the batting is twin size batting. This quilt is going to measure 60 by 72. Now, I will copy this and put it on at the end of the video, and it will have your what you need to buy, or whatever you have at home. You don't have to buy anything, praise the Lord. And this is how you're going to cut. And then 1 page back here is the instructions. 1 little page of instructions. Can you believe that? So, this quilt is called Roundabout. Roundabout. And see how that does make you think it's round, but it's not. But it has a deception. It looks like it. You know, for a teenager or a young adult, I think this quilt is just perfect. And especially for a young boy. And I could see this in blues. That would, I can visualize that in blues and whites and some black, and you could do just lots of things with this. So, now you know. We'll have another video in about 3 or 4 days, and we'll do our cutting. So get ready and be prepared, and join me for the Roundabout